I'm Kitty, and this podcast is mine, Missing Murdered Unidentified in New England. I cover cases from the New England states of Connecticut, Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, and Vermont. Each episode takes place over the years of January 1st, 2010 to December 31st, 2020, and based on sources, some episodes will be long and others will be short, as these cases don't generally have much information available. All of the research, scripting, opinions, and mistakes herein are my own, and I will offer updates and corrections as needed. I do not trigger warn for wounds, as they are a necessary part of the narrative. I will trigger warn for such topics as animal death, domestic violence, suicide, etc. as needed. Now with that, please listen in as I tell you about November 2012. November 7th, 2012. He was tall, handsome, intelligent, and funny. He was a wonderful person. Getting to know Felix was one of the best times of my life, said Laurent of her formerly estranged brother Felix Laurent, a 20-year-old father to at least one child, and CEO of his musical group Oak Grove Money Gang. Felix had an older sister and an older brother, both from his father's side, and it is unknown how many siblings he had on his mother's side. Felix's father was described as promiscuous, having several children with several women. Their father was also once incarcerated for a 6-year stint for an undisclosed crime in North Carolina. Years earlier, Felix's older sister and brother located him and reached out to reestablish contact and create a relationship. Felix went to visit his siblings in New York several times over the years, almost once every 2 weeks for an unmentioned amount of time, before an unfortunate falling out. This falling out occurred due to an online argument that spawned from a Facebook post where Felix described being shot at, and his sister making a comment that led to an argument with one of Felix's friends. This argument led to Makeda blocking Felix on social media and stopped accepting communication from him in general. Felix reached out to Makeda several times, yet Makeda, self-described as stubborn, didn't respond. Someone or someones mercilessly stabbed Felix in the back twice at 670 Union Street on November 2nd, 2012, in a section of Springfield, Massachusetts, referred to as Old Hill, Mason Square neighborhood, near the William M. DeBerry Elementary School. A passerby found Felix staggering across Wilbraham Rd near Eastern Ave around 11:30 p.m. The caring passerby brought Felix to the Mercy Medical Center via their car rather than wait for an ambulance. Felix was transferred to Bay State Medical Center, where he stayed for 5 days before being discharged for insurance-related reasons. Felix was discovered deceased by his uncle around 11 p.m. on the couch of his uncle's house on Oak Grove Ave 8 hours after his release from Bay State Medical Center, where he again was discharged for insurance-related reasons on November 7th, 2012. That makes me angry. Healthcare is a basic human right. Felix's stabbing was originally being investigated as an assault and became a homicide investigation once Felix died of his stab wounds. Makeda learned of her brother's death through her aunt's Facebook page. In the wake of Felix's murder, Makeda dedicated herself to Brooklyn Adult Learning Center to make life better for her and her children. Please call 1-413-787-6355 with any information. November 18th, 2012. A death certificate has been issued for Captain Jean Francoise Frottier, a man who was always connected to the sea, whether lifeguarding and racing hydroplanes as a teenager in Darien, Connecticut, or as a young man scuba diving in Mexico, or as a commercial lobster diver and fisherman on the Outer Cape. Jean's life took many turns. Jean was described as tall and lanky with a big heart and an easygoing nature. Genius, as his friends called him, due to his curiosity and problem-solving skills, was a husband, father, grandfather, and a hard-working, devoted family man. Jean graduated from Boston University and was successful in the Boston Stock Exchange. Jean also took a chance at real estate and bought and ran a bed and breakfast called the Gifford House Hotel, where he met his future wife, Lori. Jean was a lobster diver prior to a decompression injury that ended that career. I'll be honest, sometimes it's black, swirling death down there. But on those cold, miserable days where there's no sunlight, Jean would just dive right through. Jean was roughly 200 pounds, had an orthopedic rod in his right leg, and a surgery scar on his right leg from a fracture. Jean had brown, green, hazel eyes, and had medium-length brown hair. Jean was a notable face at Macmillan Pier. Jean was lost at sea on November 18, 2012. Alone aboard the Twin Lights boat with his first mate Eric Rigo, the boat capsized as the dredge got caught up in the lobster gear. Captain Jean Frottier went down with the ship he was trying to untangle from the traps of another lobsterman. Eric was found clinging to the hull of a boat nearby, and a vessel quickly emerged to assist. Due to the depths in the current, the Twin Lights boat could not be recovered and lies 200 feet below the surface. One of Captain Frottier's feet were recovered from the surrounding scene, and other bones may be recovered in Wellfleet, Massachusetts. In the aftermath of Jean's disappearance and likely death, all donations went to his daughter, Annalise, to continue her education, and gear from the Twin Lights boat has occasionally washed ashore. Please call 1-617-267-6767 if you discover any bones in the Wellfleet, Massachusetts beach area. If you have any questions, concerns, complaints, please email me at minepodcast@gmail.com. All one word, and mine is spelled with 2 M's, 2 I's, 1 N, 1 E. Please include what your message is about in the subject line. Later, y'all!